Welcome to all the classic car enthusiasts. I've just put this video up for Christmas. Now in Europe, in mainland Europe, the Christmas is on the 24th. Obviously in the UK it's 25th, America, New Zealand and a few other places. But they celebrate it here on the 24th, just after it's getting dark, 5 o'clock-ish. I think it's when the kids get their presents, or people get their presents generally. So I thought I'd put this up for what is our Christmas Day. I've been in contact today to the UK with Mini Spares and Mini Sport, which I bought some parts from. I ordered some new parts today which I didn't have, which are the knuckle joints, and quite a few other bits and pieces that I actually need, and rear wheel bearings, all kinds of stuff. And I did put an order in last week with Mini Sport for the Mini Sport 4-pot calipers, vented groove discs and drive flanges and a few other things, adjustable bottom arms, that kind of stuff. And Tom Gould has assured me they will be here before the new year. We'll see. But I hope you all have a really good Christmas with no tears, and yeah, you just enjoy yourself and maybe watch a few videos. And if you like them, give us a thumbs up, whichever ones you watch. So a very happy Christmas to you, and I'll catch you again before the new year. So take care. Alright, I've cut that frame there. I'll take you in a second and show you. You can see the remotes on it now. So Paul will be able to operate it and check gears on gearboxes that he's done and engines and so on. Check the clutch, make sure everything's good, release bearings, whatever. And you can see I've actually taken that edge off and basically cut it out and just put a plate on it. So what I would suggest, if you want to do that, if you need to have a clutch system on it, you need to make that, so what I'll do is actually incorporate this in my frame. So in fact you really need to have this distance here at around about 20 centimeters in between. So basically the drop arm should have come down there, and then it would have all fitted, but of course I didn't know that at the time. But you can see there's enough gap down the side of that. This is pretty shitty, it's got a lot of grease and stuff on it. It's a spare one we had. So that's done up now, and hopefully you'll get a lot of use out of it. So that's the upgrade. As I say, what I would have done, and I would still put this gusset in it like this, but I would have on the new one I'll make it at least 20 centimeters across, drop it down here and then put the gusset in. And yeah, it's about the only modification I think I'd probably do. But very happy with it. Runs really nice. It's not attached on that bone at the moment, but so there you go. So if you guys are interested in making one, let us know. I'd be really interested to see if people are going to use them. So you can see how this is set up now. We've made these brackets up here for the drop downs, and then the bolts here. We might end up getting rid of this because it's easy enough to move by hand, and then just put pins in the back in certain positions. I think that's probably going to be easy because this, when it's fully forward, gets in the way of the steering rack. But we'll just clamp all the welds now, and Mia's made a box here. Yeah, that's going to go over this piece. So we're going to take this out now so we can clean the area up and have a look, get it welded in, but we have to put the subframe back in and the engine, and also this piece which is made, so that will be connected to there, but we'll get it all in position first before we can clean it up, can't we? Yeah. Get it ready. So that's what's going on. The seat's just basic, just to get some movement on it and keep it from falling over. But we're getting there. We've made the hole for the gear stick. That could be a bit problematic, but we can get around it. This particular selector on here is very bad. So box is built there now. So this will be sealed all the way around. And we just spot welded that on. Ready. We'll clean those corners off a little bit as well. So there's the thing inside. This is how it'll look. There's a nice overlap all the way around. And all we have to do is bring the pedals forward to top them up, or we can actually fill them through here. Just put a hose in there and fill them through. So he's going to weld it now all the way down here, across the top, which will strengthen the whole thing up. And then underneath. There you go. And weld all that. These are rubbish on normal minis. They break very easy. This is heavy duty, so weld it all the way around. We want it as solid as possible. We've got the KAD short shifter, and these are the brackets. You can see how they fit on. So everything should work pretty well. Easy to get out, easy to repair, and obviously those master cylinders and reservoirs, they'll be on flexi hoses. But I think actually there's probably 2 or 3 positions, and we'll just lock them off, I think. See how it goes. This is an idea I've come up with. This is just mocking it up just to see if it'll work. So basically what I'm going to do is, we obviously need to put some kind of pins in this pedal box. And what I'm thinking is if I can put pins through there to lock it into 2 or 3 different positions to suit all the drivers, and then use the mechanism here on the front and the back to lock the pins in, that'll work. So basically I've just taken a couple of minutes just to make this little bit of bar up, and I put a couple of old springs on it. So what I'm thinking of doing is having it in a position like that. I'll obviously put the springs on the back here, because obviously they need to travel with it as well. And then the idea would be you can unscrew it on the front, and well, the first thing you do is drop this back like that, which would lift the pins out, and then undo the front. Well, as soon as you actually got it past the hole, you could let this go forward and it would sit like that until you turn the thing, and the pins would line up again and they would snap back. So they would just, I mean, it's obviously, this is just a little epoxy spring, but I think the idea would actually work if it was spring loaded. And I'd put them on a pivot, obviously here, so that they pivot in and out. So basically all you have to do, instead of, because it's okay while the Mini's up on this little trailer now, but when it's down on the floor, it means you're down on your knees. So you want it the easiest method you can to move it in and out, and it needs to be secure when it is. So like I say, my idea would have been now to put the pin on here, on both sides. So I'll put a hole in the carrier, and then when Joseph, the other co-owner, the other half owner of the car, comes, we'll put it in the furthest position in. So I'll pre-drill the holes, and then when he comes we can put it in the right position and just white marker it there, and then take it out and actually drill the holes in exactly the right place so it's a perfect fit. And then when you want to open it, you literally hold this bar down and just turn that front threaded bar, and then it'll lock in place. And once they've clicked back in, you can either tighten it or yeah, you'd want to tighten it against the 2 rods going down into here, or the two bolts, whatever you want to use going in. I would probably use 2 short bolts, because obviously the angle is important as well that's going in. So that's the idea, and I think it'll do the job. So I'll just clean that bar up and then we'll try it out. But basically you put your hand underneath and just hold that down and turn the other one, and it works. There we go. So yeah, I think that'll do the job. Something like that. As I say, these are just two different types of spring, but I'll put a good spring system on it. But it's got to obviously work on here, and it can't go on the runner. I think that's the way to go. Anyway, this is for the next video, so I hope you're watching. Put the pedal box together and just see where we are with it, and I'll make this really nice shape, clean it all up. It was a piece of rusted piece that I've got. It's in good condition, but it's just got surface rust on it, and I'll get this working and we'll try it out. You can only try. So as usual, stay safe, keep the faith, enjoy your hobby. Bye for now.